Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to Why Tommy C. Um, Today, what I'm wanting to talk about is, in this video, I'm wanting to talk about the pros and cons of living inside a busy city like like Bloomington with a lot of crime and stuff with like an even bigger town like New York City that has a lot more stuff and like Miami, which has like a lot more crime stuff because we all know that the Customs and Border Protection actually surround those borders. So the first thing I'm wanting to talk about on that, it's the peaks of moving to a littler city. The little city that I'm talking about is Ellettsville. And honestly, Ellettsville has not a lot of stuff there because number one, they are mostly they got a lot of good food vendors there. They got Chicago's Pizza. They got their own pizza, the Hoosier Pie Hole, which also they got the in the different stuff there, which is really nice. They also got, which I'm kind of surprised on this, which honestly I think you guys should be honestly surprised, is that they use a lot like like in the area where I'm moving to, the fire department's right here. Okay? And the police department's all the way downtown. But they have a radio scanner location right by the different areas. Which is like honestly so surprising, which I think, which will honestly, you guys, with like, the stuff going on, like in the different areas, like honestly just looking around, just at the different radio stuff, like right now for you. You guys get to go find out a lot more different stuff. It's like also, another thing. It's like another thing they got, like number one, they got like New York City has 4 precincts. They got Brooklyn, they got Manhattan, they got Queens, and they got those. And like also another thing which is interesting, all those different places either have like their own fire truck or their own police department. Now Staten Island, this is what's interesting about that. Staten Island is inside near an area that I like to call Staten Island is like near like the Statue of Liberty, which I honestly think, which is really neat. Just like It's like also just find out just like a whole lot of different places that are curling around these simple areas, which honestly I think, which is really, really interesting for like a lot of different people. Like also you guys are maybe thinking, Tommy, wait a minute. We know about New York City because we've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. Well, on today's subject, I'm wanting to talk about the pros and cons about living in a big city like that and living in a small city like Bloomington or Ellisville. Like honestly, to let you guys know, you guys have a few different factors on that, okay? The first factor you guys got, like you guys either listen to their radio stations, which they got quite a bit of good ones. They got WCLS, they got The Rock 961 The Quarry, New York City Gods WNYC, New York's Country 94.7, and they also got a couple more, which is like really, really, really neat. Like, also another thing which might be helpful if you guys like move to, let's just say, Chicago. Chicago doesn't have that many country stations. They only like have one country station, and that's US 99.3. And also, and also, just to let you guys know, there's just like a lot and a lot of different stuff that puts in that factor. Like with my factor, like I'm living alone in on the 25th starting on the 31st, I will be going there and I will be working out my own schedule with some help with my provider. And like also which is like really really interesting, there's going to be like two staff which is going to be under helping me, which I think which is like really interesting, I think. Plus like also plus like also another thing which is like really interesting about this area, I will be able to use my Baofeng because there's a lot more FRS and GMRS radio frequencies in that area, which is like so very neat. Which on my end, because I like radio scanners. Plus, also listing, talking about New York City. New York City got a lot more radio frequencies because they are a more bigger town. But we don't know if New York City has like either like some of their radio frequencies are encrypted, some of them might be P25. Well, also, if we go on up there to Chicago, they got like a lot of different ones that are not P25. They got a lot of narrow FM, which sometimes their radio frequencies can be hooked up to their statewide system, Starcom 21, and talking about the living conditions there. you guys kind of have like a couple of ranks. You guys got higher ranking, which are people that work at the airport, which are like pilots, also, which is also like gate operators, like also another thing which is also neat about there, they got like a lot in a lot of different places that they get to use, which is honestly just like honestly I think which is really shocking. Like honestly, honestly talking about those three places, this is making me thinking about in my next video, you guys. My next video I'm planning to talk about, it's a little bit about is what I learned about living in a more smaller community down there in Bedford, Indiana. Because Bedford has a lot more police, they have a lot more different stuff down there. Which also which I think which is really kind of interesting but a little bit confusing. They do not use a lot of radio parcellation there, which is honestly, I think, really neat. Like, honestly, I think that people needs to have help on it. Like, if you guys are ever watching this video, and if you guys are thinking about going to those places, just put yourself at an ease of a mind because we are going to be talking about those. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. If you guys liked it, make sure you guys give it a big thumbs up. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and ding that notification bell. Goodbye.